box without hinges, key or lid, yet golden treasure inside is hid.
Riddles have been a part of the fantasy genre for ages, so it makes sense that when dungeon masters are looking for puzzles, riddles get a lot of use.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
When presented with a puzzle, the ideal flow for a party is to first be confused, struggling to find out how it even makes sense. Second, to start talking through it, thinking laterally, working for a solution. And finally, to have that eureka moment where it makes perfect sense, the puzzle solved. Unfortunately, with riddles, this usually doesn't work out in practice. I found there's times where someone answers the riddle instantly. Either they've heard it before, maybe they're a riddle genius, but before the rest of the party has even begun to process the riddle, you've got some a-hole shouting out, "A-hole!" Other times the party just can't figure it out. They may be smart, they're just not getting this puzzle, though. It starts taking a lot of time, you've dropped a ton of hints, and eventually you just accept whatever answer you hear next.
Yes, the number I was thinking of was the letter M.
Either way, it's not very satisfying for the game. Today's puzzle is aimed at utilizing riddles with a higher rate of that ideal puzzle curve where your players will feel accomplished for figuring out something difficult, but also it doesn't take half the session. It's the riddle tile puzzle. So right away you can see a few themes. The first is my lack of design skills. I'm utilizing Roll20, a virtual tabletop, but this works just as well in in-person games if you've got paper and scissors. You can see 7 riddles on the right, a 7x7 box on the actual right, this is the left, and a group of lettered tiles below. Hopefully you've already figured out the goal is to begin moving the tiles into the box so that each riddle is answered. You'll notice that we are using tiles that contain multiple letters instead of one, and this is for a couple reasons. The first is to give us hints to riddles we don't know by solving riddles we do. So I figured out I'm so fragile I can be broken with a word. That's silence. That's a classic riddle. I've heard it before. But I don't know what "I am an unmarried female novel" means, because it's a terrible pun. But because of these letters below, I've got some clues on it, and now I know the answer's mystery. I can begin planting tiles for that as well. Another benefit to the multiple letters per tile is that we can get back to our curve if people are going too fast by solving riddles too quickly. For example, even though I know it's mystery, I don't know if it's this T or this T. And I have a similar question about which R to use. We really want our puzzles to be solved by people with multiple skills, so you got different players contributing. If it's just 7 riddles, chances are one player is going to answer 6 of them because they're better at riddles. But this is going to utilize riddle skill as well as the ability to look at a group of letters and see what can I spell with those. You're also going to have players that are good at tactile kind of spatial decisions to see what can fit in here with your different shapes to best form words. In addition, because we got 7 and they're giving hints to each other, you can begin using words that, or riddles that might be more difficult, or maybe they're ambiguous, or maybe again they're terrible puns. Either way, it gives you a lot more freedom so that your players don't have to guess exactly what you're thinking of to solve the riddle. You can also play with the difficulty of the puzzle quite a bit by not just adjusting the difficulty of the riddles, but, adding tiles, changing the tile size. Maybe tiles are missing, or maybe one of the clues is scratched out. In addition, if you are on a virtual tabletop like me, and you're worried about one player domineering, quarterbacking the riddle, you can make some tiles be only able to controlled by certain players. So maybe I know the answer is silence, but I gotta get the people who control these tiles to place them where they need to go. So you get some communication there. Finally, once your players have solved the riddle, all those 7 riddles are going to be solved, they're going to start looking for letters that form words within the puzzle. This is just natural from crosswords. So as an optional part of the puzzle, you can do that vertically. In my case, the final answer was the word synonym, which comes across diagonally. So that can be an additional step, a final puzzle step. So that is the riddle tile puzzle. I've been Sheptagon. Goodbye forever.